Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. You've got Bertha Hurt over there, and you're rolling with Big Lanny. And we can't wait to talk to you about, wow, at least 9 dividend increases from the last week of April here.
Yeah, before we do that, everyone, you know the drill though. Smash that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. Help us get to 10,000 subscribers on our channel. We appreciate it. We want to do our Macho Man's, our Hogan impressions for everybody. And we will do that once we hit 10,000. And as Lanny said, the end of April did not disappoint. We talked about how April was going to be the best month for dividend increases, as all kinds of companies were set to announce their increase. And we were not expecting 9 huge increases this last week. So everybody buckle up, get ready, get excited, because we can't wait to start talking to you about some of these companies that announced an increase this week.
Big dividend increases for big dividend investors out there. This is what it's all about. This is the name of the game, seeing your income grow on your way to financial freedom without you having to do anything. So we have 9 stocks at least to talk about here. So we don't want to keep you guys here for 4 hours talking about each one into so much detail. We're still going to cover the high levels, the increase, obviously the stock and the ticker, what their current yield is, and kind of what that dividend growth history's been like. And I mean, we have a lot of different industries in here. We've got, payroll systems, oil companies, tech companies, nuts and bolts, water. I mean, you name it. We've got a lot of industry cover here, Bert.
Yeah, we got everything here. So with that in mind, I think let's jump right in. This first company, Lanny hit it, your paycheck. So check that direct deposit that you got. Your company uses the company Paychex, ticker symbol PAYX, and you happen to be a shareholder. Congratulations, because you receive a 6.5% dividend increase this year. Your quarterly dividend would have increased from 62 cents to 66 cents per share. And the cool part about this one is it is right in line with their 5-year average dividend growth rate, which was 8.7%. So a little bit below, but hey, it's an average. You got to have some and some below. They have now increased their dividend for 8 consecutive years. So hey, nice little increase there for Paychex. And on top of that, you have a 2.66% yield above the market and 4 times your average savings account.
Paychex making moves. I mean, if you're a payroll system, you can maximize, revenue pretty easily because you create one product and you can just sell the software across many platforms. So great to see that increase, consistent 2021, coming out with some nice dividend increases.
Yep. Number 2, let's move out of the payroll sector and move into big oil. This one's going to be a lot of fun for Lanny and I, because this feels like they have increased their dividend every single quarter, hasn't it, Lanny? At least that's what it's starting to feel like.
If we can remember the scars from Shell, which is our second company, ticker symbol RDS. Shell last year cut their dividend for the first time since what was a World War One or two or something like that.
I think World War II, yeah.
Yeah, and so they demolished that dividend down to about 32 cents, I believe, a share. They increased it back in the fourth quarter, I believe, 2020. They just increased it again. So they were at 33 and a third cents, and then they just jacked it up another 4.2% up to 34.7 cents a share. It's nice to see that. Yeah, again, oil, it's coming back. We talked about it. We talked about Kinder Morgan. Check that video to see if it's time to buy them. But Shell, 3.5% dividend yield. They have 2 raises since cutting it down. Looking forward to seeing what Shell does to see if they're really benefiting from that $62+ per barrel of oil.
Yeah, the price of barrel has come roaring back, and obviously that is what caused all the dividend cuts. And now here we are seeing the price per barrel trickle through to us shareholders. Oil companies have just been waiting to get this revenue in, so that now it's flowing through to us. So that's very exciting to see.
And that's not done. What is number 3?
I was about to say number 3 is Chevron, ticker symbol CVX. And holy cow, did Chevron come out of nowhere with a dividend increase. They announced a nice 3.9% increase in its quarterly dividend from $1.29 to $1.34. Now their average dividend growth rate, that one was also right in line with a 3.84%. This one was huge because unlike Shell and BP that cut their dividend, Chevron was one of the last major integrated oil. Them and Exxon just hang tight and keep that dividend afloat during the pandemic. So it's very nice to see Chevron do this. And in my head, I'm thinking, Exxon, get ready. You got to keep that aristocrat status alive. So everyone, who knows what week we're going to potentially talk about it, but it may be coming here soon.
In the words of Goldberg, who's next? No, but yeah, Chevron. I mean, really putting the pressure on Exxon to do a little something over there. Exxon, what you gonna do, brother? But Bert, we weren't done with oil. Who's next on this list after Chevron?
Yeah, I thought Goldberg over here was going to start saying who's next and go right into the next company, a Marathon Oil, ticker symbol MRO. They had that 33% increase in their dividend from 3 cents to 4 cents. This is Marathon's always the funny one to watch because of the split that happened in the past. I know I've gotten it wrong in the videos in the past, so make sure you're paying attention to which Marathon Oil you own here, because if you own Marathon with the ticker MRO, congrats on getting that 33% increase.
All right, so that wraps up oil. So now we're going to slide into the next dividend growth stock, tech company, not an orange, not a banana. We're talking about Apple, baby. Ticker symbol AAPL. You know, they've been very consistent with that dividend growth rate recently. You know, they were paying a 20.5 cent per share per quarter dividend, and they just boosted it up to 22 cents per share per quarter for Apple. That's a 7% increase. So they're on 9 consecutive years of increasing the dividend. You know, they have about a 9.6% average dividend growth rate, so slightly below. But obviously, as you know, as shareholders and product owners, you know, they reinvest and they want to stay innovative with their products and solutions. The yield is a blistering 0.66%.
Yeah, and what's so interesting about Apple is you kind of hit on it there at the end, Lanny. They have so much cash. They have so much cash that I'm sure shareholders are screaming to pay us a larger dividend and pay us more. But they also have to balance that with being the leader in a very competitive sector that's going to require a lot of money for R&D, whether that comes from internal development or, hey, even acquiring somebody else. You just can't throw all your cash at the dividend into the technology sector. So Apple is walking a very fine line. At least they're giving you a high single-digit dividend growth rate every year. Although, of course, you would probably like that yield to be higher if you were a shareholder.
Oh, after Apple, we have American Waterworks, ticker symbol AWK. And you have to love a utility company that is based, you know, everybody uses water. You know, businesses, your homes, your resorts, you know, every place uses water. You know, all your products, you think about all the beverages and the food products, water being a main staple. I mean, they had a 9.5% dividend increase, pretty freaking amazing.
Yep.
From 55 cents to 60 cents and a quarter. You know, going on so many years of consecutive dividend increases with a dividend growth rate of over 10%. So this was like pretty much right there, Bert. And what was that yield that you know, AWK currently has?
Yeah, they have a 1.5-ish% yield, so it's on the lower yield side. And again, what's interesting too, to your point, is when you think utilities, you think electricity, you think gas, you think high dividends. You always forget about this water sector too, because it's a great point that you make. Water's not going anywhere anytime soon. We're going to need it. It's a unique play on the utility sector that will get you some high dividend growth, which I know some people are craving in that sector. So I'll say moving on to the next one, Lanny. I think this one's you. This one's all your company here. I can't do this one justice.
You guys have all heard it on the radio at least once, or at least seen a big truck driving on the highway. And well, Bert and I always joke around about it, but Granger. So Granger, ticker symbol GWW, not the WWE or WW, but GWW. They had a nice solid 5.9% increase. They are a dividend aristocrat. They went from $1.53 to $1.62, and that dividend growth rate is right in line with that 5-year average of 5.2%. In fact, it's a little bit higher. The funniest part about Granger is that, you know, a few years ago, this company was trading at, you know, in the mid 150s to up, you know, to 180. Now they're trading at, you know, over 430
Yeah,
dollars per share. And go ahead, Bert.
no, I was gonna say it's insane. You look at it and you say a 1.5% yield is nothing, but then you put up the stock chart and you see why it's at a 1.5% yield. Of course, your dividend can't catch up to that stock appreciation level.
Yeah, I mean, more than doubling in the last couple of years. It's hard to keep pace with the growth rate, while protecting, obviously, payout ratio and all of that. So they only yield, 1.5%. But yeah, Granger, congrats to all the shareholders out there. I know I give myself a little pat on the back at an increase here of 5.9%.
Yeah,
All right, Bert.
yeah,
This one
this
one is cute, baby.
Yeah, because I talk about this company all the time on our blog or through this. This company is probably, I would say,
Bert, you're like,
yeah, I don't know if it's that right now. It's more of a heart with just a stake driven right through it, at least from a dividend inspector standpoint, because this company is a controversial company in the dividend growth circles and technology sectors. IBM, ticker symbol IBM. This company, Big Blue, is trying to rediscover itself. That is one way to say it. They have, after that Red Hat acquisition, they are still trying to figure out what they want to be when they're an adult as a new digital tech company.
they have plenty of time.
Well, they're going to have their spin-off here to spin off the legacy and the new growth, which will be interesting to see how that plays out. But in the meantime, the high-yielding tech company, who has a current yield of 4.55%, just cannot deliver shareholders a strong dividend increase. And that has been a point of contention for a lot of us. This year, once again, they announced a 1-cent increase in their quarterly dividend from 1.63 to 1.64, a blistering 0.6% dividend increase. Frustrating. It's even below their low 5-year average growth rate of 4.66%. So another frustratingly low increase for IBM.
Bert, what do you think about what's going to happen with that dividend growth going forward after the spinoff?
I don't even know anymore. I mean, obviously it's going to split up. You're probably going to have one that's a yield of probably around 3%, one that's going to be a less than 2% dividend yield, but who really knows? I don't know. It'll be fun to watch, because look what happened with Pfizer. We thought Pfizer was going to do one thing. They thought their dividend was going down after the spinoff, and management said, not so fast, my friends, we're keeping it. So I don't want to predict too much, but IBM's got to figure out something to help see their shareholders grow, because it's getting very frustrating.
Right. And we'll obviously, as Bert said, we'll probably be putting out videos once that all comes down the pipeline, and, the aftermath as well. All right. But last but not least, one more company, Raytheon Technologies, ticker symbol RTX, big in the aerospace and defense industry, really competing with Lockheed Martin, Northrop, General Dynamics. This company increased that dividend by 7.4%. And gosh, you have to love a nice 7.4% dividend increase from them. They went from 47.5 cents to 51 cents, currently yielding, what is it, over 2.5%, Bert?
That looks right to me. Yeah, just over 2.5.
So if you add up the two, that compound factor is just about, a solid 10%. I think they did they reduce it during the pandemic, Bert?
They did. They dropped it from 73.5 cents per share to 47.5. So this increase to 51 cents per share in their quarterly dividend is a step towards getting back to where shareholders were pre-pandemic. Obviously a long way to go, but it's always nice to see it moving forward in the right direction.
Thanks, Bert. All right, so we're going to do a quick summary. I'll go over the first four and Bert will go over the last five. We had Paychex at 6.5%. Then came Shell, ticker symbol RDS, with 4.2%. Bert's favorite oil company, Chevron, at 4%. Then Marathon Oil, ticker symbol MRO, at 33%. Now, Bert, take the last five, brother.
Apple, AAPL had that 7% increase. American Waterworks, AWK, 9.5%. They were the winner for this week from this increase chart. We had Granger, GWW, 5.9%, IBM, 0.6%, the big loser of the week with that terrible increase. And then last, Raytheon RTX, 7.4%. So everybody, obviously we hit a lot of dividend increases out there, and there were still more of them. We could have covered them all, but you wouldn't have wanted to watch that. I can guarantee you would not have wanted to watch us talk for hours as we go through this. So let us know in the comment section what dividend increases you received this last week that we didn't capture in this video.
out of the ones on the list, I was able to take 3 increases home. Bert, how about you?
Yeah, I actually, yeah, 3. Chevron, Shell, IBM.
There you go. Yeah, and I had Shell, IBM, and Granger. So let us know how many increases you received as well during this past week. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel as we approach 10,000 subscribers. We thank you, obviously, to all those that have subscribed and watched the video. Give us a thumbs up. That was Bert the Hurt, and this is Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats. Over and out.